We are very honored to have with us today the following distinguished guests for the MOU signing ceremony. Mrs. Farah Hamid Khan, Honorable Federal Secretary for Education and Professional Training. His Excellency Hari Kemarainen, Finland's Ambassador to South Asia. Mr. Zahoor Ahmed, Ambassador of Pakistan to Sweden and Finland. His Excellency Mr. Willie Erola, Honorary Consul General for Finland. Mr. Hanu Immonen, Head of Vocational Education, Turku Vocational Institute, Finland. Syed Javed Hassan, Chairman, NAVTTC. Dr. Fahim Mohammed, Executive Director, NAVTTC. Mr. Muhayyuddin Ahmed Bani, Additional Secretary for Education and Professional Training. Mr. Khurshid Ahmed Khan, Joint Secretary, Federal Education and Professional Training. Timo Hakuuja, Project Director, Education Division, Project Management Office, City of Turku, Finland. Mr. Petri Hoko, Team Leader, Hotel and Restaurant Catering Education, Turku, Finland. And Mrs. Marlena Tuli, Turku, from Finland. And I am Aisha Kazi, the MC for today's ceremony. Thank you. Before we proceed with the signing of the MOU, please allow me to welcome our speakers for today. We first invite the Honorable Secretary for Education and Professional Education, Government of Pakistan, Mrs. Farah Hamid Khan, for the opening remarks. Madam Secretary, please.
Thank you, Aisha. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Ministry of Federal Education of Pakistan, I welcome all of you to today's event. I'm grateful to the Honorary Consul General, Mr. Willie Erola, for his dedication and commitment in spearheading this very important collaboration, which has culminated in an MOU to be signed today. I would also like to thank Mr. Hari Kemarainen, excuse my pronunciation if it was not correct, the Finnish ambassador in charge of Pakistan relations, for his contribution. And I appreciate our ambassador, Zahoor Ahmed, who happens to be my colleague from Pakistan's mission in Sweden, for his support to this effort. Before leaving for Finland, we had met and we had decided that we would work together for skill development and technical training. Today is a promising day for us as we sign an MOU between NAVTTC and Turku Vocational Institute, Finland, for the development cooperation in the area of technical vocational education and training, which incidentally coincides with the 70th anniversary of Pak-Finland relations, established in 1951. I'm happy to observe that this historic journey, beginning with trade and economic cooperation, has diversified into another important domain with this collaboration in the skills and training sector. Youth development is a key priority of the present government, Pakistan being the second youngest country of the world. I understand that the signing we are witnessing today is an outcome of an interaction and discussion between the NAVTTC and TAI teams during the Finnish delegation's visit in March 2020, led by the Honorary Consul General, Mr. Willie Erola, and the TAI team. I also understand that the commitment to provision of skills to Pakistani youth by Finland was also discussed with the Minister for Federal Education and Professional Training and the Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Youth Affairs during the delegation's visit in 2020. We are hopeful of valuable outcomes from this cooperation, the Finnish vocational system being one of the leading and most advanced TVET systems of the world, having strong footprints in entrepreneurship, continuous competence development, apprenticeship, and private sector linkages. On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Professional Training, I assure complete support to this initiative and congratulate both sides on the successfully concluded understanding and express my sincere wishes for its success. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I now welcome Mr. Hanu Immerman to share his views. Mr. Hanu, please.
Secretary of Government, the ambassadors, dear colleagues and friends. On behalf of the city of Turku, Turku Vocational Institute and our committed staff, I would like to say at first, just now we are very proud that we are come together to sign this MOU today in the field of technical and vocational education and training. Unfortunately, the circumstances gives us a slightly exceptional start to our collaboration and for this event. I feel that we are making something historic in our organization, but I believe this will be an important step for the whole Finnish vocational education and training as well. In Finland, we made the biggest reform in 20 years of vocational training structures at the beginning of 2018. So we have now implemented new structures for 3 years in our vocational education and training. And our assessments of the reform are positive, and we would like to now bring the best aspects of our reform to your attention and work together to build and develop your vocational education and training to meet the skills needs of the future working life. This development work will include many different areas. I can promise Turku Vocational Institute is very committed to start work, and we believe in long-term collaboration. So we are ready on our side to sign today MOU and start our collaboration. At the same time, I wish successful collaboration, and hopefully we can meet locally as well soon, maybe already next autumn. And at the end, special thanks for Mr. Willi, Honorary Consul of Pakistan in Finland. Without his contribution, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hanu, for your very encouraging words. Next, it's my pleasure to invite Syed Javed Hassan, Chairman NAVTTC, to say a few words. Mr. Javed Hassan, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Your Excellencies, ambassadors to Finland and ambassador to Pakistan from Finland, welcome. Honorable Madam Secretary, Honorary Consul Wiley Arora, my team in NAVTTC, as well as Ministry of Education, as well as Turku. Thank you very much for your efforts. It's been a phenomenal effort we have put together, and a number of areas that I'd like to highlight from this agreement. Really, this is quite an auspicious occasion. I understand it's the 70th year of collaboration on economic affairs with Finland. And now we are expanding this to skills training, and that's important. The more we deepen our relationships, the more hopefully we'll benefit from each other. Now, in specific area of skills development, I understand from the agreement that we'll be looking at curricular development, transfer of technology, recognition of qualifications, accreditations, joint certification, as an establishment of TVET institutions. Now, as it happens, this is very much part of the agenda of the present government. We are ourselves in the process of executing the Prime Minister's Hunarman Pakistan program, which is part of the Kamyab Jawan program. It's one of the largest programs this country has ever seen. And the things mentioned here are almost identical to what we are doing in the Hunarman Pakistan. So we are very pleased that Finland sees eye to eye with us and the present government's agenda, and will undoubtedly benefit considerably from your input in this effort. So thank you very much for recognizing what we are doing, and I think it'll make a lot of difference. I'd like to take a brief moment to thank Wiley, who I know personally. I really appreciate his efforts. I know how strongly he feels about Pakistan, and it's really remarkable that he puts a personal, sometimes I feel he's more Pakistani than Finnish. So I really appreciate his passion and concern for the country. And very often we have had heated arguments as well, but I really think it's excellent that when people can actually feel so strongly that they can have passionate discussions about issues. So thank you very much, Wiley, and please carry on being as passionate as you are. Also, Mr. Petri Hoku, team leader of Hotel, Restaurant, Catering, Education, because that will be a very important area for Pakistan. We want to expand our hospitality and tourism industry. Pakistan is an exceptionally beautiful place like Finland, but in some ways I like to think even more beautiful. But we would want all of you who are presently in Finland, please do visit us. National Agency of Education Finland, again, look, the Madam Secretary of Education is here. So I don't really want to talk about education, but Finland is one of the leading places for education, and we want this arrangement to probably expand into other areas as well. We have a lot to learn on that. I don't want to say much more, but my team and the team in Ministry of Education who have been working hand in hand with us, as well as the ministry in Finland, thank you very much for your time. And I hope this is a propitious beginning to wonderful things in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We now have the pleasure of inviting His Excellency Hari Kemarainen, Ambassador of Finland to Pakistan, to share his views. His Excellency, please.
Honorable Secretary, Your Excellency, Madam Farah Khan, dear colleague, Ambassador Designate Zahur Saheb, Dr. Fahim Muhammad, distinguished representatives of National Vocational and Technical Training Commission of Pakistan, dear representatives of Turku Vocational Institute and the city of Turku, dear Honorary Consul Ville Eerola, warm greetings to all of you from snowy Helsinki. We just received more snow during the last night than I think for several decades, and I think hopefully this is a good omen. But for the beginning, I really have to say how pleased and honored I am to participate in this ceremony today, particularly since, as was already mentioned by Honorable Secretary, this week we are celebrating 70 years of diplomatic relations between your beautiful country, Pakistan, and Finland. And this week, we have, of course, all been looking back to the history, to those days when the diplomatic relations were established between our two countries. That was in January 1951. In those days, the world, of course, looked very different from today. Pakistan had just gained her independence only 4 years ago. Karachi was the capital, and Khwaja Nazimuddin was the Governor General. What about Finland? Finland was still trying to recover from the devastating war we had fought against our eastern neighbor, and Finland was economically, financially in a very bad state. In these 70 years that have passed since then, we have to acknowledge that Finland has gone through a huge transformation. Whichever statistics you take today in the world, you can see that Finland ranks among the top. Finland has become the #1 country in fight against corruption. Finland is number 1 in good governance, life satisfaction, happiness, but above all, in education. During my visits, not only to Pakistan, but to other countries in South Asia and elsewhere in the world, I quite often encounter the same question. Mr. Ambassador, can you explain to us what's the secret behind the Finland success story? I usually explain that there are three secrets. First, education. Second, education. And the third, education. Finland, we have invested a lot in high quality primary education. We have invested a lot in higher academic education, and we have invested a lot in excellent vocational education. We can say that the key to any country's, any nation's success is in education. But Finland is, of course, also, we are a very transparent country. We do not like to keep our secrets for ourselves, but we are happy to share our experience with our good partners. In Finland, Turku Vocational Institute is very well known for its innovative and result-oriented approach to education. For us here in Finland, Turku represents what Karachi represents for Pakistan, our ancient capital. Pakistan is very well known in Finland for its brilliant, highly skilled young population. This is an excellent resource for any country that we can only be envious about. I'm very happy and proud that a new bridge between our two countries will be opened today, a bridge in the field of education. Let me congratulate all of you on this occasion. Bahut shukriya. Khuda Hafiz.
Thank you, Excellency. We now warmly welcome His Excellency Zahoor Ahmed and request his worthy remarks. His Excellency, please.
Good afternoon and good morning from here in Sweden. It's a pleasure to be here to join this ceremony, which I see as a landmark event in the relations between Pakistan and Finland. Pakistan and Finland have just completed 70 years of our diplomatic relations, and I think this is a very good omen that today we are here in the presence of Madam Secretary Education, who is the lead official of the education sector in Pakistan, officials of NAVTTC, and our Finnish partners, Ambassador Hari and the TAI, the Turku Institute. I think this is a aspect of our relations, important aspect. As I begin my tenure here in Stockholm, and I look forward to visit Finland very soon and present my credentials there, I think this is the opportunity which we need to grab, because Finland is the world leader not only in education but particularly in vocational education. Almost half of the students in Finland go through the vocational education route, and I think this is something from which Pakistan can benefit a lot. Pakistan's most valuable asset is its human resource. We have, as colleagues have mentioned, a young and energetic population, and this population has the capacity to learn. Wherever they have been given the opportunity, they have performed miracles. And I think we need to give them an opportunity through technical and vocational education. And this partnership between NAVTTC and TAI is a very good step in that direction. I look forward to working with you in the future on these issues also, and I wish you all best of luck. I would also like to, in particular, thank our Honorary Consul General in Finland, Mr. Willi Arora, for his hard work and dedication towards this project. The presence of Madam Secretary and her team here today will show you the commitment of the Government of Pakistan to this cause. The Government of Pakistan believes that education is the way forward for our development. And from that point of view, particularly the tourism sector, the IT sector are two sectors which are very close to our heart. And I think there we can benefit from the vocational education system of Finland also. I thank you very much for having me here today and wish you best of luck.
Thank you, Excellency. I finally have the pleasure of inviting Excellency Wille Erola for his very valuable views.
So thank you very much, Honorable Secretary, Your Excellencies, dear Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, and especially all dear friends in Islamabad. This is a very, very big day for us. We all know that COVID-19 became such a hurdle last year and destroyed a lot of plans. We couldn't travel, we couldn't see our friends and families in a way we have already done. So many lost their jobs, unfortunately, so many lost their lives. But whatever happens in our lives, I think we need to look at the future, because if we don't look at the future, there won't be any future for us. So through all the hurdles, bottlenecks, changes, barriers, and changes we all faced last year, we made it here. And why did we? I think simply because we are doing this for the future of Pakistan, and especially for the future of the youth of Pakistan. I'm not an educationist, but I do believe that education is exactly as His Excellency Hari said. Education is everything. Education is a key priority in any development in any country in the world. And when we talk about education, we talk maybe too often about universities, masters at everything, and PhDs and all that kind of stuff. Those are needed too, but very often we forget the backbone of the society in the world, which is actually the skilled workforce. Some of you have heard this earlier as well, but I'm saying that these people with a modern vocational education are the people who are actually who are running the society and countries. I'm talking about the people who run our buses and taxis and install our plumbings and fix the gables, build our houses, cooks the food, take care of our cars. And especially after a challenging year last year, 2020 with COVID-19, let's do remember also people taking care of us. So yes, Finland is really well known for its high quality education, but maybe also the world class vocational training is sometimes forgotten, but not anymore. As has been said already, Finland has it, and I think the world really needs it right now, maybe more than ever in a world where skilled workforce is one of the biggest assets in any country might have. And that's why it feels absolutely wonderful to see that this is now in action and for Pakistan, because whatever we might think about, politics now or in the past, the youth of Pakistan do deserve the best possible skills of the future. And that's the passion driving me to make this happen. I'm so happy to be in this event and see this really happening right now. And also witnessing the signing of MOU shortly. I want to thank you, all of you, keeping the train moving on despite all the challenges we have faced during the last year. So my words are thank you, thank you, thank you, and once more thank you. This is a very historical day, bringing the best possible skills and vocational training to Pakistan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wille, and thank you for all your efforts. It is now our pleasure to witness the signing of the MOU between TAI and NAVTTC. May I invite the signatories, Dr. Fahim and Mr. Hanu Imoman, to pen their signatures on the MOU, please.
Photo.
I start जाते हैं। Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, the MOU has been signed and the new partnership has been formalized. May we invite Dr. Fahim and Mr. Hanu Imumun to hold the MOUs for a photo, please. I would also like to invite all our distinguished guests to please turn on their cameras if they're not already on and join in the group photo taking, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the signing ceremony. We thank you all for your presence and wish you a very pleasant day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.